So this is the NuPhy Kick75. It's a new hybrid profile 75% keyboard starting from $90. This means the keyboard is able to change between low and high profile with just some changes. In this video, I'll be covering the low profile option and how it changes into the high profile version. First off, included in the box is a set of stickers, the quick guide and Q&A booklet for the Kick75, a Type A to Type C USB cable, a switch and keycap puller, the 2.4 GHz wireless receiver, 5 extra keycaps, and the Kick75 keyboard, which weighs just under 900 grams or 2 pounds in the low profile mode. So for the design and layout, the keyboard has an exploded 75% layout with a volume knob on the top right, an RGB indicator light next to the arrow keys, and the current profile of the keyboard at the bottom left here. The side profile looks like this with the NSA profile keycaps, and the typing angle can be increased with the feet on the bottom. On the back, there's the OS switcher and tri-mode toggle switch on the right, and the storage slot for the 2.4 GHz receiver and Type-C port on the left. On the bottom, there is 4 rubber feet, the 2 height adjustable feet, and the Kick75 branding with some 8-bit designs in the middle. Going on to the specs, the keyboard has NSA profile Disa PBT keycaps with a more colorful design, Gateron tactile brown nano switches that are pre-loop and have a deep sound signature, pre-loop PCB mounted stabilizers that can be reused and plate mounted in the high profile mode, a polycarbonate plate that allows some flexing when in use, a gasket mounted PCB that is south-facing and 5-pin hot swap, and perky RGB that shines through the transparent top cover really nicely. There is also 42 effects available to choose from for the RGB backlight and even some for the indicator light next to the arrow keys. As for the firmware, the Kick75 will support QMK VIA and NuPhy I/O depending on the version chosen. With VIA, you can remap all of the layers and keys, create and import macros, save and load different layouts, and configure the RGB brightness, effect, speed, and color. Diving into the disassembly, I recommend starting by removing the knob and indicator cover, then the keycaps and switches. Next, this red rubber piece can be removed, followed by the 8 screws holding the case together on the bottom. After that, the top case can be lifted and the cable for the knob can be disconnected. Under the PCB, there are 3 more cables that need to be disconnected, which are for the daughterboard, battery, and tri-mode switch. With everything disconnected, the plate and PCB can be separated easily as there are no screws used here. Okay, here are the components and mods inside. The top case just houses the knob module on the top right corner and this magnetic piece for the indicator light here. In the bottom case, there's a thick piece of foam to dampen the typing noise, and on top is the 2500 mAh battery and daughter boards on the sides. For the PCB, there's an IXPE switch pad and plate foam that goes on top, and a sound dampener stick to the back paired with another piece of case foam. Now, to convert the keyboard from low to high profile, the extra swappable kit is needed, which has all of the parts included. This kit is currently priced at $19 for the pre-order and will retail at $29. With everything disassembled, we can start with the stabilizers. They pop out from under the PCB and mount to the plate like any plate-mounted stabilizer, so this is a really easy process. Next, the IXPE switch pad and high-profile plate foam can go on the PCB, followed by the plate with the stabilizers. Now the switches can be installed. They will help to hold the plate and PCB together as well because there is no screws used here. After that, the foam under the PCB can be added in before the 3 cables are connected back. With the plate and PCB properly fitted, the high-profile top case can be connected and placed on top. With that settled, all of the 8 screws and red rubber piece can go back on, followed by the knob combining with the high-profile knob cover and magnetic indicator piece. Finally, the keycaps can be installed and the conversion from low to high profile is now done. Honestly, the process is quite simple as you are only moving the stabilizers around, changing the foam and top case and adding a cover to the knob. Anyways, without further ado, here is the typing sound test in low and high profile. Please enjoy. Alright, here are my final thoughts on the NuPhy Kick75. In my opinion, even at $90, it's already a solid keyboard. But having the option to switch between high and low profile just for an added $20 makes it even better. It's like having 2 keyboards for the price of one, and this drastically makes the keyboard much more customizable. Besides that, the retro 8-bit design and transparent aesthetic looks great too. This might be a bit too colorful for some, but for me it's tastefully integrated. So if you're interested in the NuPhy Kick75, it will be linked in the description below for you, and that does it for this video. Thanks to NuPhy for the keyboard, and thank you for watching. Leave a like on the video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't, and remember to subscribe if you haven't. See you in the next one.